Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to another video and welcome back to another weekly vlog. I took a little bit of a break off from vlogging after my 7 books in 7 days situation. That was a lot for my little brain to handle. I also posted 5 videos that week. Let's just say I was a little burnt out, but I am excited to be back weekly vlogging. I have a lot of books to read this week, and I think that's the reason why I specifically wanted to weekly vlog, hoping that this would motivate me to get some of my reading done, because I've started a lot, I'm in the middle of a lot, and I have not finished a lot. So let's go ahead and talk it over. I have 5 books that I'm in the middle of. Yeah, I said it, 5. And I'm really hoping to finish most of these early this week. That way I can focus on some of my other books at my TBR later on this week, because I still have a ton of books to read this month. So cross your fingers for me. I'm scared. Okay, thank you. Up first, we have The Vampire Academy by Michelle Mead. I am 100 pages into this, and I'm enjoying it. I just haven't had time to pick it up. I had a crazy weekend. I was supposed to be buddy reading this with one of my subscribers, but I didn't get around to finishing it, and I think she's already done with it. So yeah, that happened. But I am really enjoying it. I'm 100 pages in. It's good so far. I'm being sucked back right into when I was a teenager and I was fangirling over these characters, and it brings me a lot of nostalgic joy, so I'm really enjoying this one. I am also, again, another buddy read that I was supposed to be doing that I royally failed at, and that is I Hope You Get This Message by Farah Naz Rishi. I think I butchered that name, but I was buddy reading this with Brayden. He finished it already. I'm only I lied. I'm 200 pages into this, and not done with it yet. I can't say that I'm loving it either. I think that's the reason why I haven't been compelled to pick it up, because it's not amazing. It's not great, but it's not bad either. I'm just not really loving it. This is a sci-fi book that deals with 4 characters who are struggling with their own fates, as they know that the world is going to end in 7 days due to an alien attack. So it's like a contemporary sci-fi. It's kind of weird. It's kind of funky. I don't have any real attachment to the characters. It has a lot of perspectives, and so it's bouncing between a lot of people, and I haven't really had a chance to connect with any one individual character yet. So yeah, it's all right. I'm reading it. Up next, the next 2 books I'm going to talk about are books that I am thoroughly enjoying and I cannot wait to finish. Both of them are fantasy, and I'm so excited. And the first one being A Torch Against the Night by Sabatiere. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. I have no words. I didn't mean to pick this up. I picked this up for the Olympic readathon because it covers one of the prompts, and I really wanted to read it because the first book was so good, and the second book is just as good. It's so politically driven. There's so many questions that I have. I am on the edge of my seat every time I turn this audiobook on, and I'm trying to figure out what's happening, trying to really predict what's gonna happen and who's gonna win and who's gonna be on top, and it's so good. Also, the angst in this book, it's delicious. It's delicious, and I want to keep reading it, but it's not on my TBR, so I'm trying really hard not to prioritize it, but I want to continue it, so that's where I'm at. Really enjoying that. I am currently 283 pages into this one, and it's about a 450 page book, so still got some reading to do with that. And then up next is another book that I'm really enjoying. I am predicting this is going to be a 5-star because this is so good, but I'm reading A Dark and Hollow Star by actually, I keep saying Crystal Shuttleworth. It's Ashley Shuttleworth. I don't know why I say it every time, but this is a really interesting fantasy book that I am thoroughly enjoying. Every time I pick it up, I never want to put it down. I was buddy reading it, so you can see my tabs are in there. I am more than halfway done with this book, and it is so good. This follows a cast of 4 different characters, as far as I'm into the book, at least. One of them is a Fury that has been outcast from her position as a Fury in the immortal realm, and she is cast down to earth to live in the mortal realm, and she's basically a stubborn child trying to make the people that did this to her pay. There's a whole reason behind why she is where she is, but I won't divulge that because it's not a part of the synopsis, so I'll let you guys figure that out on your own. But I really like her character. She's a badass, takes no shit, sarcastic, snarky character, and she's so fun to read. I love her perspective. And then you follow Arlo, who is a half human, half fairy, and to everyone's knowledge, she is not powerful at all due to her human heritage. She doesn't have any type of magical abilities, which as of her age, she should have these magical abilities starting to come out and show themselves, but she has none of that, and so she is fighting to stay inside the fairy realm. If the council doesn't vote for her to stay in the fairy realm, they will wipe her of all of her memories of magic and the fairylands and send her back to the human world to live amongst them with her father. But she really doesn't want that, and her cousin is also fighting to have her stay because of the fact that her mother is part of this really successful royal lineage, and so that's her perspective, and she has a really big part to play in this world. And then you also follow two other characters, one of them being a prince and then the prince's bodyguard, and the role that they play in these the investigation of these murders that is taking place. And these murders connect all four of those characters together, and it's so interesting. It's so politically driven. It's also very just intriguing. The characters are funny, they're snarky, they're fun to like watch and have them be around. It's a great time so far. I'm really, really enjoying this. Cannot wait to continue to read this one. Like, I'm hoping to finish this one maybe tonight if I have the energy, but I still have to edit the video, so we'll see. And then I have 3 books to haul for you guys, so I'm gonna get through these really quick because this intro is already super long. The first one I have is Warbaker by Brandon Sanderson. It came in used at the store, and I was like, I need to read more Brando Sando. Not that I read the 5 books that I already have of his on my TBR, but it's fine. This is a standalone book. That's the reason why I picked it up. It sounds good. It sounds like, it kind of reminds me of the magic system in the Black Prism. It's like a color-oriented magic system, and it sounds really good. And then I went to a bookstore in Newport Beach. I didn't mean to go. I was out with family members, and I saw the bookstore, and I was like, I need books. I don't need them, but I did at the time. And my brother actually bought these for me, so thanks, brother, you're the best. The first one I got is another Coelho book. I got Without Merit by Colleen Hoover. Didn't even read the back of this, just saw Colleen Hoover and picked it up, so no excuses there. And then the last book I got was the last book in the Darker Shade of Magic series. This is The Conjuring of Light. This is the 3rd book in the series. I own book 1 and book 2 since I already read book 1, and I saw it there and decided to complete out my trilogy. So yeah, those are the 3 books that I recently hauled. The 4, I told you I was in the middle of 5 books. Those are the 4 physical books I'm in the middle of, and the ebook that I'm reading is Sugar Daddies. Don't know the author, but it's a harem, smutty romance, and it is so good so far. So good. The writing isn't the best. The sex scenes are chef's kiss great, but some of the writing is a bit cringy and here and there, but overall I'm really enjoying it, so I'll take it as a win. Anyways, that is the end of my very, 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 very long intro. I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Peace out. Bye. Hello friends, it has been a little while since I last updated you, so I wanted to come on here and give you a quick update in regards to my reading. So I think I last talked to you on Monday afternoon when I first opened up this vlog, but I did read a book since then. Well, actually 2. On Monday night, I did finish A Dark and Hollow Star by Ashley Shuttleworth, and I really, really enjoyed this book. It was so interesting, so gripping. I ended up giving it a 5-star. It was like barely a 5-star. It was actually 9.00 on Compile, which is the lowest you can go before you hit a 4-star. But I think that it was a really well done book. The intrigue was there. The political, the political scheming that was this book was so interesting. The characters were pretty well developed. I would definitely say that the author spent a lot more time on Nausicaa and Arlo in this book than the other 2 male main characters, but it was fantastic. I really loved the fact that there was so much talk of identity and sexuality in this book in regards to pronouns and identification and things like that. So it was really well done. I like the fact that I believe that there was 2 gay characters, 2 lesbian characters. There was some talk about non-binary characters, characters that use the pronouns ze/zer. And it was just really well done. I really enjoyed it. I think that it was a really interesting plot line. I think the fact that it was told in multiple perspectives really added a lot to the story. It really gave more depth than I was expecting. There was a ton of world building in this book, however, and I will say that I will give it some benefit of the doubt here because it's the first book in a series, but there was a ton of world building. It could get confusing at times, but overall I really enjoyed the writing. I really enjoyed the characters. I liked the romance that was brewing in here, and the mystery that this book kept me intrigued to the very end. So really intrigued by this book. Cannot wait to move on to book 2. Hopefully we can get some more information on when this second book is going to come out. I believe that it's on the Goodreads it says 2022, but we don't have an actual date yet, so really hoping that we can get another one of these soon because it was just so good. I really freaking enjoyed it. And then the next book that I actually finished it last night, and that is Sugar Daddies. This is by, I can't remember the name of the author, but This was interesting to say the least. I ended up giving this book a 3-star. This follows Katie, who has a dream of riding horses and opening up or buying the stable that her horse is now currently with, and really just running a small little horse business. But she ends up going online and matching with these 2 guys named Carl and Rick, who are looking for a sugar baby, and obviously they're going to be her sugar daddies, and it's a bisexual harem relationship. And it was a really interesting book. I liked the concept of it, although I did have some issues with the writing and the character development and growth. But overall, the steamy scenes were sexy. There was definitely some interesting talk about polyamorous relationships that I really enjoyed. But the main character was just so irritating at times. She had a lot of baggage from her past life. Her dad wasn't really around, and she spent a lot of time resenting him and his new family. He wasn't around for the first 10 years of her life, and when he came back into her life, she hated everything about him and his family, and to this day hated him and refused to speak to him, called him the sperm donor, like really didn't like him. And that is a huge portion of this book, and she just spent so much time being so angry about so many things. It was just so frustrating. She had this built up resentment for her sister, that she just didn't, she didn't have a good relationship with her, but her entire mindset was, they're the worst, I hate them, I want to win at everything, I want to be the best, I want to show them up. And it was just so frustrating to watch all of that come together, because it was like, you knew the outcome of this book when you read it, and you knew what was going to happen and how things were going to play out, and it was just so frustrating to watch this character go through all of that when it wasn't really necessary. But at the same time, it added a little bit of depth to the story that we didn't get in the beginning, so it was a really interesting book, to say the least. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. I will say that my favorite characters in the book were the 2 male main characters. They were so sweet, they were so kind. You have Rick, who was very he has a really big personality, was super like eccentric and just different and fun, but he's also super sweet to Katie and just a really good guy all around. And then you meet Carl, who is very closed off, and he's definitely the business mogul. He takes work very seriously, he's very guarded, and he has a lot of walls up, but when those walls came down and he was just so kind and sweet, it was just really beautiful to watch their relationship form, and I like that part about the book the best. I also like the fact that it was told in multiple perspectives. You got Carl's perspective and you got Rick's perspective, Katie's perspective, because Carl was harboring a huge secret that made all the rest of their past relationships run for the hills, and so you kind of get to see his perspective. The only thing that I will say about this book is it was super predictable. Everything that was supposed to be a twist in this book, I knew as I was reading. It was just so easy to predict, but other than that, it was an enjoyable, fun read, and I gave it a 3-star. So that is where we're at with my reading this week. I think I've also decided that I'm just gonna DNF. I hope you get this message. I'm just not enjoying it. I'm halfway through this book. I'm 200 pages in, and I have no significant thoughts about it. I have no feelings. I have no, anything about this book, and I just don't think that I should push myself to read something that I'm not going to enjoy. So I'm gonna DNF it and give it to somebody that hopefully will enjoy it more than I am enjoying it now. So those are my reading updates. I still have, that's a lie, I am also still in the middle of Torch Against the Night. I have about 100 pages, an hour to go on the audiobook. I don't exactly know where I am because I haven't updated my my book, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm hoping that this will be another 5-star. I don't think that it'll be anything less than that because I'm really enjoying the whole process of reading this book, and I cannot wait for book 3. So those are my updates. These clips have been so long and nothing really exciting has happened, but that's my update. I will talk to you guys when I do something more fun. I'm gonna hang out with my grandma today. She's here. She's in the backyard. I'm gonna go see my sister today. So hopefully I can get some B-roll footage for you guys, but until then, I'll talk to you then. Hey guys, it's been a little while since I talked to you again, but I just wanted to give you a quick update before I head off to bed. I literally just got back home. It's currently 1:06 in the morning. I just went to hang out with my cousin. She just finished her graduate school, so she just wanted to do some celebrating, so we went and got dinner, and we just sat in her car and chatted for a little while. So I did finish this book a little while ago, probably like 5 or 6 hours ago, but I wanted to share my thoughts, and I did finish A Torch Against the Night by Sabatiere. I ended up giving this book a 5-star. I really enjoyed it. It was so good. The thing that I love about this book so much is just how dark it is, and I love the fact that Sabatiere was willing to go there, willing to do some dark, gritty things in her fantasies, which I feel like a lot of YA fantasies are not open to doing. I'm not open to like killing characters, and it's not as like dark as a high adult fantasy would be, but it's still pretty dark for YA fantasy, and I liked the political intrigue, the characters, the character growth, and the way that they change, and the magic system is starting to be incorporated into these books more, and it's just very, very interesting. I really enjoyed it. I love Maya and Elias and Helena's characters. They're just so interesting to read about, and to see how they get to where they're going, and the process of getting there has just been so interesting and so fun, but it's also very intricate and hard and dark and sad and gritty, and I really, really enjoyed that. So far, I'm really enjoying this series. I really want to get my hands on the third book, because it's just so freaking good, and I'm enjoying this series so much. So that's my thoughts on that. I'm literally gonna go to bed. I'm so tired. I'm gonna go to bed, and I will talk to you guys hopefully tomorrow. So Bailey went to the groomers yesterday. She got a haircut, and she looks beautiful. Huh, pretty girl? You look beautiful? You're beautiful? Are you a pretty girl? Yes. Hey friends, so I am just gonna head out to go spend some time with my dad. We're celebrating an early Father's Day. Today we're gonna go eat dinner, and then we're gonna go roller skating. But I just wanted to give you guys an update on a book that I started today. I am now in the middle of Chemical Hearts by Sutherland. If you look this up on Goodreads or on Amazon, it comes up as Our Chemical Hearts. I don't know why this edition doesn't have that. I don't know why it changed, but I am 120 pages into this, and so far I am really enjoying this. I love the fact that it's told from the guy's perspective. Usually with YA romances, it's told from the girl's perspective, and I'm just getting a little bit more insight on the guy's perspective, and I'm really enjoying this. But this follows Henry, who is one of those kids that he's 17, he's never really been in a relationship, never been in love, but that's not because he is like yearning for it, but just because he has chosen to not really want that in his life. He doesn't really have any need for a relationship. He's seen so many high school relationships get toxic and crazy, and just didn't want anything like that. And he has really high standards of love because his parents have been married forever, and so he just wants something like that to attain to. So it's never been a priority for him until he meets, I forgot her name already, Grace, who walks into school, first day of a new school. I couldn't say that out loud, and she is definitely a person that seems very, very broken. She wears men's clothing. She is very dirty and disheveled, and he falls in love with her after getting paired together for journalism, and she has a very interesting disposition. She's definitely like not like other girls. She's very quiet. She's very demure. She doesn't really open up. She's not very vulnerable, but you know that 3 months ago, prior to meeting Henry, she had a car accident that caused her to walk with the cane, and he's just trying to figure out like how this girl works, what makes her tick, and how to properly talk about his feelings towards Grace, and also help to break down her walls. On here it says that Henry wants nothing more than to help put her pieces back together again because she's very broken. So I think so far it's been cute. There are a couple of things in here that has kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but I'll talk about them in more detail once I get to the end. But so far so good. I really enjoyed this. I think that it's going to be a book that's probably going to make me cry. I am not opposed to that. I haven't actually read a book recently that's made me cry, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. But hopefully I can spend some time tonight reading this one, since I don't have any other plans other than roller skating, and that I think it ends at like 10, so I can come home and read and get a good way through this one because I am really enjoying it. And then I'm hoping that I can start either Sweet and Bitter Magic or The Boyfriend Material, because I have these ones on a friend's Hoopla account. They're letting me borrow that, so I should really get around to reading those ones. And then also The Song of Achilles, which is not actually on my TBR. This is a book that I'm buddy reading with Mike, who is letting me borrow his Hoopla account, so I should probably get around to reading that one soon. And then after that, I will only have 3 books left on my TBR, so still a ton to read. Not quite done with anything just yet, but that's my update for now. I'm gonna go get ready, and I will talk to you guys later on.
Trying hard, but you wanna be my friend. Ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. Here we go again. Call my bluff, I'ma be here till the end. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out, I can help you out, I can help you out.
Good afternoon, happy Saturday. Don't mind my hair and the fan sound. It's really hot in my house, so, sorry, it's just what it is. But I wanted to give you guys an update. I went to the dentist this morning, and I was gonna vlog earlier, but, I ended up having to get my cavity filling fixed. So I had to numb my mouth, and if you guys were there for mouth numbing, part 1, I wasn't going to do that again. I wasn't going to subject you to that brand of weird, right? Okay, so I didn't do that. And then I came home after. I actually had to work. I had to work with my numb mouth, and I ended up going in for 2 hours to cover a shift because the person that was supposed to be there was sick, and so I went to work for 2 hours, and then I came back, and I was going to read some more and finish up my book, but I ended up taking a nap, and now it's, I don't even know what time it is. It is 7:46, and I'm just getting around to updating you guys. So, basically, not super successful, but that's okay. I wanted to give you an update on Chemical Hearts by Crystal Sutherland. I am now on page 255. I'm 80% of the way through this. I have 50 pages to go. I have thoughts, but I don't really know where I stand with this book just yet. I have mostly been listening to the audiobook of this just because I have been traveling a lot, doing a lot of driving, and so I've been listening to this audiobook. And I just having a hard time. This fellow's Henry, who it's mostly from his perspective, which I enjoy. But you're also following Grace, who, I don't know how to explain how, my desk is dirty, don't look at that. I don't know how to explain how I feel about this book without spoiling it. So I'm going to put on the screen, spoilers, so if you want to read this book and you have not read it yet, please be warned, I'm going to give spoilers for this book. So there you go, there's your warning. Spoilers up on the screen. Grace is a very broken individual. She has a lot of stuff going on in her from her past life, and her biggest, challenge and hardship is that 3 months prior to meeting Henry at school, her boyfriend died in a car accident that she was also in. And she spends the majority, I hate that word, majority of this book using Henry as a surrogate for her boyfriend that passed away. Like, literally, you can tell from the way that he is explaining the relationship that when she closes her eyes and kisses him, she is literally thinking about somebody else. She's having sex with him and imagining her old boyfriend. And that is just, it rubs me the wrong way. It screams toxic to me, and I don't love that. I don't know how this book is going to end. It seems like he might be pushing back from what he's getting, but for majority of the book, he's accepted this. He's like, okay, that's fine. Like, I could just be a surrogate for her, and like, she's not really loving me for me, and I don't know, I get it. People go through hardships, people go through, people dying, and it's hard. It's a hard thing to go through, and that's a lot of emotion there, but to use somebody like that, I don't know, it just rubs me the wrong way, and there's still a lot that goes into, that experience, and I won't spoil everything, but I don't know if I like it. So I'm going to get to the end, and I'll give you guys my update when I finish it. But, I don't know. And that really sucks because I have loved Crystal's other works really a lot. And so, I don't know how I feel. So I'll give you guys an update when I finish this one, and hopefully I end up liking it more than I'm currently liking it now. Okay, so I just finished Chemical Hearts by Crystal Sutherland, and I don't know how I want to write this yet. I think I need to sit on it a little bit. I think I need to, like, sit with the call pile reading and decide, like, what I want to do with this book, because I don't agree with this relationship, but I also understand the appeal behind this book and the lessons that it teaches at the end. But the feeling that I get from this book is icky, and I don't know how to feel about that. And I think that I might be the unpopular opinion. I might read some Goodreads reviews and see how other people felt about this, because I don't know. I think that I've seen in my life too many toxic relationships, and so for me, it just rubs me the wrong way. And I think this might be a me problem and not the author problem and not an everyone else problem, because I love this author. I had the chance to interview her. She's fantastic. She's so sweet. She's so kind. So it has nothing to do with the author or her work, obviously, but I think this is like a me thing, and I didn't love it. I didn't hate it either, but I didn't love it, and I'm having a hard time figuring out what my feelings are about it. So I'm gonna sit with this one for a little bit and decide what I want to do. I'm gonna head over to my father-in-law's house Isaac's gonna work out there and take care of the dogs while we're there because they're out of town. And while I'm there, I'm gonna pick up the boyfriend material, I always call it the boyfriend material. It's just boyfriend material. This is by Alexis Hall, and I have the audiobook on Hoopla, so I'm gonna read that one. So yeah, that's my update for now. I'll let you guys know as soon as I decide when I'm actually gonna rate this because I'm legitimately lost. So that's that.
Ain't no wonder why, ain't no wonder right to. Here we go again. Call me up and you wanna be my friend. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't.
Hello friends, I hope you're doing well. I apologize for my hair is being crazy. I was just sitting in front of my fan, but don't mind my laundry back there. I need to fold that. But I just wanted to give you guys an update on my reading. I did end up rating Chemical Hearts a 3-star. And then I tried to watch the movie and I bowed out at about 20 minutes in. I was like, nah. I was gonna put myself through double the torture, but it wasn't worth it. But I did pick up a new book today, and that is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I was reading that on Cece's stream this morning. She was very gracious enough to invite me to go back and stream with her, so I was there for about 3 hours. And I got to page 152 of Evelyn Hugo, and so far I am really enjoying this. I like Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing. I really enjoyed Daisy Jones and the Six. This is no exception. I'm really enjoying this. I like the storytelling, the way she chose to tell the story. I like the intrigue behind it. I like the fact that it has LGBTQI plus rep. So lots of stuff in here that I'm really enjoying, and I cannot wait to read more of that. I'm about to get ready to go to Father's Day with Isaac's family. I still need to call my dad, but I got a little sidetracked with the stream, so I'm going to give him a call in a bit. And yeah, that is my update for now. I will talk to you guys when I have something more to say. If not, I will be here later on today to close out this vlog. So until then, I'll talk to you then. Hello friends, I hope you're doing well. I'm just coming on here to close out this vlog. It is currently Monday morning. I'm just about to head off to work, but I just wanted to close everything out, tell you guys how I did for this week, and hopefully things will go better next week. I mean, not that I didn't do well this week. It's just that I'm hoping things will go better next week because I really need to finish the books on my TBR. It's starting to stress me out a little bit, but it's okay. We'll get there. So as for the books that I have finished / DNF, I will show you guys those first. And then the 2 books that I'm currently still in the middle of, and we'll go from there. So these are the 4 physical books that I read this week, as well as an ebook that I also read. It was Sugar Daddies. I forget who the author is, but I will put a picture up on the screen here. I did finish that one. I gave that one a 3-star. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite smutty read that I have read by a long shot. It definitely had some issues in there that I just didn't care for. And I felt that the plot was very predictable and the character was a little bit insufferable at times. But for the most part, it was an enjoyable read. I really liked the sex scenes. They were quite hot and steamy, which I enjoyed. And I really liked the 2 male main characters. I thought they were just such cute portrayals of, like, hardworking, strong, independent men that had gruff exteriors, at least one of them. But on the inside, after those walls came down, they were really just a kind person, and I love that. It was a polyamorous relationship, which I have read very few of, so it was exciting to read. I did enjoy it, it just wasn't my favorite. And then most recently, I finished Chemical Hearts by Crystal Sutherland. I ended up giving this book a 3-star. I'm still kind of teetering on whether or not I want to go and drop it down to a 2-star or a 3-star. I just felt that this book was a little bit misleading. The back of the book makes it seem like it's going to be a really cute love story. But, I mean, and I guess you do get some of those bits and pieces in here at points and at times, but it just, for me, felt super toxic, and I may, be reading into that wrong. I've read a lot of Goodreads reviews, and nobody else mentions the fact that they thought this was a toxic relationship, but from how I interpreted this experience, it just felt very yucky to me, and I didn't love that experience, unfortunately. I love Crystal Sutherland as an author. I think that she's a fantastic writer, and the writing in this book was fantastic. I loved the prose in here. It was wonderful. I just didn't necessarily love the actual storyline, so that's unfortunate. Up next, we have A Torch Against the Night by Sabatiere. I love this book. I gave it a 5-star. This is gearing up to be another one of my favorite fantasy series. I have been enjoying it so much so far, and I've heard that the 3rd and 4th book only get better, so I don't know how that's even possible, but I'm so excited to continue on with the series. I love Laia and Elias, and I actually really love Helene. I love the perspective that got changed around in here. I liked how dark and gritty the author was willing to get with her characters, not afraid to kill some people off, not afraid to, you know, use some darker tactics in a YA novel, and I just really, really loved it. The political intrigue in this book, the magic system that's starting to get explored is so interesting, and I'm really enjoying it, so I cannot wait to move on with the series. Oh, I'm loving it so much. Then we had a book that I DNF'd, and that is I Hope You Get This Message by Farah Naz Rishi. You know, I didn't love the fact that I DNF'd this, but I just don't think that the storyline was for me. It was a sci-fi book, but I got about 200 pages in and nothing really happened. I didn't have any attachment to the characters. There was too many perspectives for me to really feel like I understood which characters I liked and disliked, or their motivations, or what they wanted, and it just didn't feel very palpable to me. I'm gonna sneeze. But I just had a really hard time with it, unfortunately, and I'm not in the mood to read books that I'm not loving, that are going to put me into a reading slump. I just don't have time for that, so it is what it is. I didn't enjoy it, but that's okay. There's always next time. And then, of course, we have Dark and Hollow Star by Ashley Shuttleworth. This book was so fantastic. I gave it a 5-star. It was a freaking phenomenal queer fantasy that I really, really enjoyed. It was also dark and gritty and had some really interesting aspects. I liked the inclusion of this very intriguing and interesting magic system. I liked how inclusive this was and how much we talked about identities and sexualities and things like that, and it was just so wonderfully beautiful. I love the fact that it was actually set in Toronto, which I would say that this is like a very rough comparison, but I think if you liked, I can't speak. If you liked House of Earth and Blood, I think that you would really like this. I think it has a lot of the same dynamics of the story, which I really, really enjoyed. So I'm really excited to hopefully get my hands on book 2 very, very soon when we get a publishing date, because I'm excited to move on with the series. And lastly, the 2 books that are actually on my TBR that I'm in the middle of are Vampire Academy by Michelle Mead and House of Earth and Blood? What? The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I am enjoying both of them. I put this one aside. I was actually supposed to be buddy reading this with somebody, and they finished it long before me, and unfortunately I just haven't had the urge to pick it back up, so I will get around to that one eventually. And then I'm in the middle of my read of Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I'm really enjoying this. It's very interesting, very intriguing. If you want to hear the rest of my thoughts, feel free to check out my vlog for next week, but that is all of the books that I have read and I'm currently in the middle of. I still have, I think, like 4 more books on my TBR that I still need to get around to, so cross your fingers for me. Hopefully I can do that. But that is the end of this video. If you made it to the end, leave a red emoji. I can't think of any emojis at the top of my head right now. Leave a red emoji if you made it to the end of this video. Anything red. That sounds like it's going to be a fun time to look through those comments. I love you guys so much. Appreciate all of your continued love and support. If you did like this video, please make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And of course, leave any comments, questions, and suggestions in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.